Hey everyone, this is Mike Rennick, your favorite Sarasota Longboat Key-based real estate broker, part of Team Rennick Real Estate Services, part of the Keller Williams on the Water family. This is our second Facebook Live today. There's a issue that I feel very strongly about that we need to make sure we understand. So I have with me Michael Mailliard, who is the owner agent of MIC Insurance, based out of here in Longboat Key. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, Michael.
I know you have a busy day. I want to say thank you for agreeing to join us at this kind of last minute. So I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
My question is this. I read a memo yesterday that buyers now have different options when it comes to flood insurance. And I'm bringing in the expert, which is you, to share that with us. So if you would, thank you.
The biggest implication of the latest change was resolving the ambiguity of moving to a private plan and then possibly going back to the federal contract. The primary federal contract, historically, if you drop it and go elsewhere, you really have a delay in getting back into coverage. So that opening is a good thing in terms of bringing private contractors into the mix of selling base flood insurance, currently primarily provided by the federal government. The issue at play in the private market is assets to pay. There are a number of different carriers that do offer excess flood. Lexington is one, which is an AIG arm. That is a contract that I'm comfortable with their ability to pay. There are small carriers, though, that are primarily associated with small Florida insurers that I am not particularly comfortable with. In terms of, again, ability to pay, reinsurance program, et cetera. The biggest issue in flood today in our market, particularly in the longboat market, where many of our clients do not occupy for 80% of the days of the year. The unknown secret of sorts in flood insurance is what happens at time of claim. The feds give you a discount if you live in your home for more than 51% of the days of the year. That is strictly a discount time frame. At claim time, they're going to ask all clients that have a National Flood Program contract at claim time, do you occupy for more than 80% of the days of the year? That is a trigger for the policy either being replacement cost or actual cash value, which is used depreciated value like goodwill value. That extends to the excess flood coverage, which covers above the base $250,000 offered under the federal or private base contracts, because the excess flood is a follow form contract. So for my clients who are not primary 80% of the days of the year, it is incumbent upon the agent to offer an excess flood contract with a secondary coverage extension, which alters the excess flood from a follow form contract to a replacement cost contract. So if I have an ACV contract on the bottom 250, perhaps my home is large enough that even fully depreciated, I'll get my full 250. And if I have an excess flood contract that is replacement cost above, I'm getting to the best of my ability to an actual replacement cost of the structure.
I understand.
Circumventing the actual cash value rule of base flood.
So a couple of things. Let me make sure I understand this correctly. We as homeowners now have a few more options when it comes to purchasing flood insurance, and introducing the competition should be beneficial to homeowners. Is that true?
Clearly.
One of the key points you made is when we buy insurance, it's important to make sure that we think the carrier is going to be able to pay if there is a catastrophe, if you would.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
These companies are not equal. And this is true of all Florida homeowners contracts also. All of the homeowners offers that my clients receive, the quotes, they're all on a similar paper format. They all look kind of the same. Mm-hmm. They're not the same. The internal contracts are not the same. The coverages afforded are not the same. And the company's ability to pay are not the same. So we're not like Iowa, where I'm from, where every carrier was AM Best A rated who had a comparable ability to pay with a very similar internal wording of their contract. We don't live there. We live in Florida.
A lot different.
We're the Wild West of insurance.
What you're also proving today is that it does matter who you pick for your insurance agent, because this is a very complex topic. And we may think we have full coverage, but if our agent isn't up on top of things, we may not have full coverage. And the time we find out about that is the least favorite time we want to, is when we have a claim. So, Mike, I appreciate that. I rely real heavily on experts, and you're the guy I go to for insurance. I'll make sure your contact information is posted with this video. But I want to bring you back, because insurance to me is a fascinating topic that I don't want to learn too much about, but I want to have the information ready when I need it. But the key is, I think it's the same as when you hire any professional. You want to make sure your insurance agent really understands the area. And Florida, as Mike just shared, has a lot of nuances in terms of insurance. I'll share back when I came here back in 2010, I had a national insurance policy on my vehicles. And because of the way it was, it had to be canceled. And I went back to the same carrier in Florida because their policies were different. And that was a long, long time ago, before I met you.
Yes.
And I really appreciate all the help that you've given us and my clients.
Thank you.
I will bring you back again. Any last minute things you want to share about this, Mike?
I think that in terms of flood, I will leave clients with the last thought. Flood insurance does not cover just the actual damage caused by the water. If I have a flood event and the water touches my house and one neighboring house, it also covers the ensuing losses, such as mold caused by a power outage caused by the flood.
This is complex.
It is.
And I appreciate. I'm not sure how you do it, but keep doing the good work that you do, Mike, in terms of all of this stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, Michael.